Did I just do that? Did I do that, Veronica?
I didn't know it was going to announce that when I paused it.
What was I just put continue, no?
Yeah, just say continue. It's just warning you that you're being recorded.
Yeah, but it got canceled, it says. Oh, okay.
But then, yeah,
Whatever.
paused it, so
Okay.
then paused it.
Yeah. All right. I'm sorry on this end. There's something really beautiful about being able to mute people, by the way. All right. Mute in the room. All right, my friends. So come to letting your lips become still, please. All right. All right, so I have a lot to share with you today, as I have been this week. I'm excited. But I want to start with lying on your back. So go ahead and lay on your back. Bend your knees. You know, we're a little fooled, right? Because I've been saying we're leaving our kapha season, which is that season of everything in our bodies melting. But then, of course, now it's chilly and cold and wet. So I want to go back to this very powerful breathing practice that I did a couple weeks ago with some of you. I want to re-enter this one because it is a breathing practice of helping us to move through the layers. And I'm going to speak a little bit about these beautiful layers that are taught through the shamanic teachings today. But before I get there, I want you to bring your arms alongside the body. And the breath is in through the mouth twice. So it's you open your mouth, you breathe into your belly, and then you take the second breath into your chest. And then you exhale through the mouth like you're just letting go. So it's a and a so you breathe into your belly, you breathe into your chest, and you let it go. And you can be definitely assured that this is going to be a breath that'll offer emotional release as well. Anytime we breathe like this, that we get through some of the blockages of emotions in our bodies as well. And part of the reason I love this breath is because in my understanding, so this is just my feeling, we are moving through a very powerful time in our universe that is opening up to a place of rewriting our story, which means that some of the story that we've had written, how we wrote our story, and this is a collective story, is being shattered, shifted, and rewritten. So to do that, we must change some of our emotional intertwinements. I was thinking about this on the way here this morning. Keep breathing like this. I'll entertain you as you do it. But keep going, because this is not easy. But I was thinking about this morning, that the way you think about yourself, right, and the way you project what you think about yourself and how you say what you think about yourself, other people think about that as you. So therefore, if you are in this place, and I was thinking about this with the yoga studio, I have to say I get quite a few people that kind of like me, you know. In that, there's a constant flow of love coming my way. And so there's prosperity and love. You're lying on your back, you're breathing in through your mouth twice, so your belly fills, your chest fills. Just one more minute, don't give up. And you're exhaling through your mouth. So if you have a feeling about yourself, if you're putting out a perception of who you are that isn't healthy, isn't 100% effective for your life and prosperity and health, that's coming back at you because people are visualizing you like that. Does that make sense? Yeah. So one more breath like this. And then let yourself just relax. Let yourself just relax. Now, if you hated this breath, I'm going to suggest you do it when you get home. Maybe for 5 minutes, maybe for 10 minutes. But the idea of where we are in this universal consciousness and raising of consciousness means that how we perceive ourselves really matters. How we want to rewrite our story, not that there was anything wrong with our story, but collectively we have to change. And what are the changes that you wish to see? There's a wonderful, wonderful, you guys know I'm in my 3rd year of green medicine. There's a wonderful weed that's in your yard called Veronica speedwell. And most people will kill it with weed killer or try to get rid of it. But her magic is that if you have a story you've been telling yourself over and over again that you can't get out of the trap, she'll help you release that story by drinking infusions. And this is what's surrounding you, is everything that's supporting you. Everything that's bringing you to a higher consciousness, me to a higher consciousness. Hug your knees into your chest. Roll up to sit, please. Bring your hands to your heart center once you arrive with your eyes closed. See, this is the thing, that we have an opportunity to create the world, our world. But if you only accept 80% of your perfection, then that is where you will live. Why not receive 100%? Why put up with things in your life that are not exactly what you want? Inhale through the sound of Om. Release your hands and open your eyes. And please come forward onto your hands and knees and press back into child's pose. Drop into this breath. Keep it a strong breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. Feel your back body as it lifts with your breath. Side body as it widens. And then walk your upper body to the right side of the mat. Extend that left arm as long as it will go. A little plug for my 21 days coming up, June 1st to the 21st to the solstice. If you'd like to join us, my son and myself will be doing ritual. We'll be doing different types of foods to help support the gut brain, heart brain, the mind brain. The beautiful offerings to lead us to that radiant light of the 21st. Go to the other side, please. I think it's one of my most favorite parts about being in the Green Witch training. I don't even call it a training, it's coming home to myself. But it's reminded me of how important ritual is. When I'm feeding my mind, when I'm feeding my body. Allison, your dog is so cute. Come back to center. Come onto your hands and knees. And see if you can just turn your palms face back just to stretch your wrist. See if you can turn your palms face back. Yeah. Yeah. And then turn them face forward. And then come up onto your fingertips and just feel like squeezing up through the fingertips to the wrist, to the arms. And then lower the hands back down like you're just planting them. Good, stretch your right arm out to the right. Slide it underneath your left, threading the needle. Notice how you can kind of wind yourself around your spine. Just see where your body needs a little bit more love and opening. Or maybe where you need to shelter yourself a little bit. Maybe you have something you're needing to hold a little dearer today. That's cool. Good, come on up and change sides. Sweet. So everything starts with perception. The first level of perception that the shamans look at is called the level of the serpent. It is an instinctual creature with extraordinary senses that it can rely upon to tell where there's food and where there's a predator. In this realm, we humans rely on our senses. So basically, it's 1% spirit and 99% matter. So it's really what's in front of us that we see and feel and perceive as true. Come on up. Good. Walk your hands up to your hips, please. And slide your right leg out to the right. Either come onto the heel or come onto a flat foot. And then slide your right arm down your right leg. Take your left arm over your ear. Get that side body stretch. Left arm over your ear. And I'm curious if you look, yep, right arm down your right, either way, both are good. Yep, I like that way. Sliding your right arm down your right leg, and then look down towards your right leg and see if that helps you slide just a little bit more. Good, and then inhale up to a letter T. Let your left hand float down to the floor. Let your right leg lift up. Flex your right foot. Pull that energy up from your left wrist all the way up into your shoulder. And then maybe reach back and hold that ankle. Maybe it's too soon for you. Draw your navel in. Nice, Joanna. And gently release down. Hands on your hips. And switch sides. Left leg out. Slide down. So again, you can be up on that heel or a flat foot. I like up on the heel, but I have suggested it many different times, and other people really like the flat foot. So go for it, whatever feels better for you. I agree. And then as you reach down, you get that lengthening of your whole side body. Get that arm straight. And then look down toward the foot and see if you can slide just a little bit more. Nice, Meredith. Nice, Jan. Ah, gorgeous. Good. Come on up. Place your hands back down on the mat with your knees on the mat. Hands and knees. Oh, no, we didn't. Come on back up. Sorry. And let's take that nice little reaching back for that ankle. So slide that left leg up. And maybe that's enough, right? Keep the rib cage in. I'm just excited to go where I want to go next. Pull the rib cage in, then reach back for that ankle if you'd like, or not. Remember that back bend opens the chest, but it does not push the ribs forward. And then come on up. Good, back onto those knees. Very, very good. Walking those hands forward. hands and knees. Good, slide your right leg back behind you, right toes on the floor, and then slide your right leg over to the left and look over your left shoulder. And again, just feeling that sense of the rib cage just getting a little longer, spaciousness in the side body. We do so much forward and backward, right? That side lengthening is absolutely necessary. Breathing, 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 breathing. Nice. Come on back to center. Lower that right knee down. Slide your left leg back behind you. Take it over to the right. Look over your right shoulder. Enjoy the breath. Understanding through perception that nothing is happening to us, but instead for us. Come back to center. Beautiful. Downward facing dog. Lift those hips high to the sky. Pull up the energy from the wrists, so maybe even come up to fingertips and feel that sensation of drawing up, lifting up. Explore the side body here. So maybe walk your hands back, not maybe, walk your hands back a little bit, and then put your right hand at the center of your mat and take your left hand back for your right ankle, left hand, right ankle, so you're twisting. Look underneath your right armpit. Pull yourself to the side. And then switch. So then your left hand comes in the center of your mat, and your right hand reaches to your outer left ankle and you twist. Pull that navel in. Pull the tops of those thighs back. Gorgeous. Plant both hands down. Walk very slowly. Your feet up to your hands. Feet to hands, standing forward bend. And turn your feet wide and come into squat. Maybe have a blanket underneath your heels. Separate your feet wider if your heels don't touch the floor. There you go. Good job. Relax those shoulders. Maybe even close your eyes for a minute. How I perceive the world is what I create from it. How I think of myself is the energy that flows to me. So if I'm constantly on myself, right? Criticizing. It's the energy that I draw. Standing forward, bend, please. See that your feet are parallel to each other, maybe about 2 fist width apart. Now bend your knees just a little bit and clasp your hands behind your back. Shrug your shoulders towards your ears with your elbows bent so you really get that nice side body as long as it'll go. And then start to bring your arms up and over any amount. Now keep your knees slightly bent and then slowly start to press the tops of your thighs by keeping your shins forward so it's a really good hamstring stretch, not locking the knees back. And then allow your left hand to come to your outer right ankle, left hand to outer right ankle, and reach your right arm to the sky. Turn the palm, turn it away from you so you open that shoulder. Keep the tops of your thighs moving back. Keep your low belly drawing in. Gorgeous, and then change sides. So if the weather is fooling us, then we can keep twisting a little bit to keep any of that excess in the body that we're holding, help it release out. Adrenals get squeezed, kidneys get squeezed. Good. And then here we go. Bend your knees deeply. Put your fingertips on the floor. So as low as you need to go to get your fingertips down. Now lower your seat a little bit lower. Now reach your arms up into chair, please. Good. Now place your hands on your thighs. So you're going to inhale to look forward. You're going to exhale and round. At the end of that exhale, no breath at all, and pump your navel in and out. No breath at all. No breath. I shouldn't hear anything. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, round. No breath. Pump your navel in and out. Just move the navel. One more like that. Inhale. Exhale, round. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. All right. So this is a little confusing, but I really like it. So here's going to be what I say to you. I'm going to give you the suggestion on how to do this. And if you don't do it the way I am suggesting, do it just some way magical. So make it up is what I'm saying. Okay. So reach your arms up to the sky, hold on to your left wrist and pull to the right. And then swing your body forward into a little half circle all the way over to your left side. Stay. And then you're going to change. You're going to hold your left hand to hold your right wrist and pull to the left. And then you're going to spin around back through the center all the way over to your right side. Hold it there for a sec. And then let your right hand hold your left wrist and pull to the right. And continue like that. And if you're just damn dizzy, then sorry. But mainly the idea is just to get that side body to keep stretching. And even coming through that center is just so beautiful. Good, one more time. Oh, good. As you come back to center, sit back to chair. Groins back. And slowly lift your left foot off the floor and place your left ankle on top of your right knee. Sit back low, 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 low. And then clasp your hands behind your back and lean forward. Lift those arms up off your back if you can, just a little bit. And come on forward. And release that foot down. Beautiful. Come on up to stand. Take a breath in and out. Sit back into chair. Switch sides. Lift your right foot slowly off the floor. Plant it, flexing that foot, pulling those toes back. Taking the groins way back. You're way sitting in that chair. Go back, go back. And then take your arms behind you. Maybe have the other thumb weave in so the wrists get to stretch a little different. Lean forward. Nice, Carla. Nice, Katrin. Meredith. Good. Nice, Lisa. And slowly come all the way back up. Plant both feet. Inhale your arms to the sky. Interlace your palms. Press straight up. As you're lifting the heart, soften the ribs. As you're lifting the arms, feel yourself anchor through your feet. Inhale deeply. Exhale, float forward all the way down. Good. Send your left leg back behind you. Bring both hands inside your right foot and do some hip circles here. Move your hips in a circle. Both hands inside your foot will help. Mark, go a little longer with your lunge. Go longer. There you go. Nice job. Good. Now steady your hips and press them back toward the back of your mat and walk your hands forward. So lift your hips back toward the back of the mat, but walk your hands forward. Keep your ribs drawn in, your navel lifted. Some of you can lower down to your elbows. Some of you stay up on your fingertips. And breathe. Make sure that knee is not passing that ankle. So look at your knee. And if you need to help the foot come forward just a little bit, give it that love. Yeah, beautiful. Clearing way. Good. Now raise your right arm up to the sky. Good. And then bend your elbow and lean back. Lean back like you're leaning on someone, like someone's holding you from behind. Lean back. Pull that low belly away from that thigh. Nice. Lower that hand down and walk to the left until you come to the center of your mat. Prasarita Padottanasana. Bow here. You got it, Lynn. Yep. Nice. A deep bow. So, right, the first perception is that of the serpent. It's kind of like what you see is what you get, right? The second perception is one of the jaguar. This is where we recognize that our mind can create disease or restore health. It's our attitude that brings joy or pain. It's that moment that we look at a loaf of bread and we don't just see the bread, but we see that it comes from the fields of wheat and the baker. We see all the possibilities. And not one is better than the other. These perceptions, they're just knowledge of who we are and how we see. And if this is the way that we want to see the world, so we want to see it from this is all there is. We want to have that feeling of all possibilities, more open space. Left hand comes to right ankle, left hand, right ankle, right arm to the sky. You might need to wiggle your feet in just a little closer. Right arm to the sky. Now I need that right arm to move closer to your ear. So again, you're experiencing that length. Maybe even take that right arm and reach it down to the floor in front of you and get longer and push the floor away from you. Push, 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 and turn and churn. Good. Now, before we leave this side, can you push your inner left thigh a little bit more to the left? No, I can't. Little left inner thigh a little bit more to the left. Good. Release down and change sides. So start with taking your right hand to your left ankle, left arm to the sky, moving the left arm a little bit closer to your ear. Maybe that's where you're going to stay. Maybe float it down to the floor in front of you and turn and turn and turn. Beautiful. Bring your hands onto your hips. Pause a minute. You just let your legs do the work here. Squeeze your shins and widen your inner knees, and then come all the way up to stand. Close your eyes for a moment and just be. And then as your eyes open, turn your right foot forward. Bend your right knee. Come into warrior two. Take that knee and point it right at that second toe. Arms up, light, light. We're moving toward the eagle. Get those arms nice and high. But relax those shoulders. Yeah. And then send your left arm down your left leg. Take your right arm up and back. Actually, let's do it like this. Lift your left arm up, even though you're reaching back, and hold on to your right wrist. And pull your right wrist to the back of your mat. Now send your knee forward just a little bit more. Yes. Good. Now take your right forearm down to your right thigh. Take your left hand onto your left hip. Dana, you read my mind. Left hand onto your left hip and press your hip up into your hand. But press your right thigh down. So your whole right side, the whole right ribs is kind of getting this lift. Now take your left arm over your ear. Straight arm. Side angle. Breathe in and breathe out. Maybe at some point, let your mouth open as you exhale. Touch down, hands to the floor. Downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward, please. Bring both hands inside. Do some hip circles here. Then as you come to that place of stillness, press your hips up and back, but walk your hands forward. Maybe down to those elbows, fingertips, straight arms. Again, making sure that that knee is not passing that ankle. That rounding in your back is quite nice, filling up the back body with breath. You can even cat-cow here a little bit if you want to, moving the spine. Beautiful. If you've cat-cow, just relax for one moment. Good, and then go ahead as you walk in, take that left arm up to the sky. Bend that elbow and draw it back and open up that chest. Soften those ribs. Do not let them pop forward. Lean your head back, back, back. Absolutely beautiful. Release that left hand down and walk to your right till you come to the center of your mat. Turn your feet parallel to each other and bow. This time, clasp your hands behind your back. Again, shrug your shoulders towards your ears, bending those elbows. Let your shoulder blades squeeze onto your back and then take your arms up and over any amount. Make sure you're falling onto your baby toe and big toe side of your foot evenly. And from this place, lift all the way up to stand. Relax your arms alongside the body, and once again, close your eyes if you'd like to, just for a moment. I've always known there's so many layers to who we are. There's many layers of the universe, many galaxies. Tap into the bigness of who we are. We tap into all the energies that surround us, what we draw to us. As you open your eyes, turn your left toes forward and bend your left knee, warrior two. And again, take those arms up a little bit higher. And this time, bring your arms up to the sky and take hold of your left wrist and pull back to the back of the mat. Keep that front knee moving forward, forward, forward. Gorgeous. And then take your left forearm onto your left thigh. Take your right hand to your right hip. Push up into your hip so that back leg stays so strong. And then push down to your left forearm so you can really get that left rib cage to lift. And then slide. You guys look amazing. Slide your right arm over your ear. Side angle. You got it, Jane. So beautiful. And ever so gently release to the floor, downward facing dog. Now your choice, if you'd like to take it through vinyasa, come through plank, lower down to your belly, rise up into cobra, press back downward dog, or stay right where you are, or take a child's pose. Come on down to those knees, hands and knees, please. Slide your right knee in front of your left knee, right knee in front of your left. Separate your feet nice and wide and sit between your heels, Gomukhasana. You can put a block between your heels if that feels better. And if this is absolutely not okay for your knees, put your right shin in front of your left shin. Right. You're like, I just thought we were going to triangle pose. What is this? This is opening your hips moment, right? Good. Take your arms overhead, hold opposite elbows. I know. If you're sitting super awkward, put a blanket underneath you or a block or something to give you a little bit more evenness. Good. Now let your left elbow float down behind you. Take your right hand to pull that elbow back. Draw it back. Lift your chin, please. Pull your navel in. Good. Now release your hands and walk yourself forward or stay right where you are. Up to you. Walk your hands forward or stay right where you are. That's good though. Yeah. It's a big deal. Press your baby toes down into the floor. Barry, try to put a blanket underneath your seat. Let me just see if that will even out your right and your left. Third level of perception, how we see ourselves, how we see the world is the soul level, which is called the level of the hummingbird. It's a language where that we see from images and music and poetry and dreams. It's a realm of myth where the soul can experience itself as a sacred journey, symbolized as the hummingbird. The hummingbird, it navigates its way from Canada to Brazil and never loses direction. It's always looking for that nectar of life. Good, come on up. You can unleash yourself and come to the other side. If you want to take a downward dog between sides, you're welcome to do that. If you're feeling extra sassy, you can go through a whole vinyasa. Or just change knees. Again, sit between your heels. And make sure you're happy. You know, even though some of us, this is a big deal, like this hip opener is a big deal, but put like 12 blocks underneath you or whatever you need to find that sense of, oh, there's balance. And then take your arms over the top of your head and hold opposite elbows, lift your chin. And then let your right hand fall down your back and pull that elbow back. Keep your chin lifted, especially if your shoulders are tight, your chin's gonna drop. And then release your hands down and walk forward. Remember, shin in front of shin is just as valuable. So Mark, do what Dana's doing. See how she has a shin in front instead? That's it. Keep your feet flexed, pull those toes back. Breathe into your outer hips. Sit with that place that may be uncomfortable, however, not painful, never painful. In asana, uncomfortable, sure. Emotional, maybe. Beautiful. Slowly walk yourself back up and take downward facing dog. And I hope that Sarah's okay with this, but we're going to bring your right knee forward for pigeon. It's a Sheryl pigeon, not a Veronica pigeon, so I think it'll be okay. Squeeze your knees toward each other, pull your rib cage in. Veronica has all those little things, those little extras that make you go, oh, holy shit. Walk yourself forward. I never even knew that was in my body. Come down to your forehead.
That was Thursday's.
Yeah, I'm sure. A whole Thursday class, Mark is saying of holy shit, Veronica.
What's Thursday? How was the focus book?
I'll have to look at it. Is it up on YouTube yet? Not yet. Okay. You guys know we have a YouTube channel, right? Naturally Yoga Online. What I love about the class being online, this is so bad that I'm going to say this, but I'm going to say it, is that if you're taking the class on, you go to the YouTube video and you're watching it, you're taking it and you're like, oh, this is great. And then you come to a point you don't like, you just turn it off. That's what you do. That's what I do. If I'm taking Veronica's class online, I'm like, that's enough. No, I'm just kidding. I do the whole damn class. Now you can stay here, or you can take that twisting thigh stretch where your right hand comes back to hold your left ankle. Again, I'm working side body here, so think of it as reaching your right arm back. Now, if it doesn't reach your ankle, maybe take your right hand to your sacrum and just open that shoulder and twist. Nice. That's it. Oof. Good. Come on back, downward dog. Some work happening here. Good. Take it through vinyasa if you'd like, or take it to the second side, Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. Second side pigeon when you're ready. Squeeze in, lift the ribs. And as you walk forward, I always like to feel like you're curling over a beach ball. Just walk forward and feel the back rounding full. Fourth perception that we're going to move into in a moment is the perception of the eagle. As the eagle soars above the valleys, he's able to visualize taking the trees, the rocks, the river, and even the curvature of the earth. Yet, he's also able to spot a mouse 2,000 feet below him. His ability to see both the entire picture and a tiny piece of it at the same time represents that quality at the level of spirit. This is when we perceive our reality is 99% consciousness and 1% matter. It's called the poof state, he says, because at the level of perception, matter simply disappears. Gives the examples when we look at a hyperactive child, we see no illness or problem. There simply is God experiencing itself as a child. You can come up to that thigh stretch. So you're taking your left arm back to your right ankle, but again, you're using it to open that shoulder, open that shoulder, open that shoulder. Squeeze that knee, that right knee down and pull it forward, and then pull that shoulder open, twisting, twisting, twisting. Beautiful. And then gently release. Good. Slide that right leg forward, please. Lie on your back, hug your knees into your chest. We'll try that lying down eagle. So take your right knee on top of your left knee. Left elbow on top of your right elbow. Squeeze your shins toward each other. Spread your toes. Keep your hands lifted off your face, so keep your hands up. Breathe deeply here. Let yourself just be the breath right now. The fullness of this breath. Uniqueness of this moment. And then change legs. Other knee on top, other arm on top. Squeeze your shins. Keep your navel drawn in. Beautiful. Slide those legs to the sky. Slide those arms to the sky. Reach up. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Keep the hips relaxed and keep reaching up. Close your eyes. What is how we perceive ourselves? And what do we put out into the world that comes back to us? He gives this example of a stone cutter. And he asked the first stone cutter, "What are you doing?" And he replies, "Squaring the stone." He then walks over to the second stone cutter and asks, "What are you doing?" He replies, "I'm building a cathedral." In other words, both men are performing the same task, but one of them is aware that he has a choice to be a part of a greater dream. Are you dreaming at 70%? I'm saying that's enough. That person is enough. The place I spend a lot of my time is enough. Or is it fulfilling your dreams? Try to keep your legs up and your arms up, but you can always bend your knees. Good. Gently reach for happy baby. Bend your knees and reach for your insteps, either inside your feet or outside of your feet, whatever gives you the nice hip stretch that you're looking for. Now just place your left foot back down on the floor, keeping the knee bent, and work your right shoulder inside of your right knee, your right shoulder inside of your right knee. You can even lift your head up to kind of dig that heel on the, that knee on the outside of that shoulder. And maybe if you lift your head up, start to work that shin towards your ear more, towards your ear more. Squeeze the shin in. Yep. Yep. And then lower the head down and release the right foot to the floor and bring the left knee in. And work that left shin on the outside of that shoulder. Lift up the head. Seeing that you're trying to get that knee over the shoulder. And I'm not telling you to put it there. I'm just saying that's the direction it's moving toward. Squeezing that shin in like crazy, widening that inner thigh. And then lowering that back down. And then bringing the soles of your feet together and let your knees drop wide. And let your belly soften here. Feet together, knees wide. Your belly becomes soft belly breathing. Letting go of pulling the navel in. Very important when we move through the practice for sure. And then you can choose to do a restorative bridge or come into bridge pose. Restorative means to put a block underneath your sacrum as you lift up your hips. Or go ahead and drop your shoulders down, draw your ribs in, and go ahead and lift your hips up. Maybe clasp your hands underneath you. Been giving pretty much every class a little sacred herb moment. And the one I wanted to talk about today was Tulsi. It's called holy basil. It's traditionally planted in a pot in front of the doors because it is known to be Lakshmi, the manifestation of Lakshmi. Tulsi reminds you that you are spirit in physical form, and that no matter what you think of yourself, you're sacred. What if you're holy just as you are? What if you don't need to be more spiritual or more anything? What if you saw yourself already as a sacred being? Come home to that. If you're not on a block, come down. Take a moment. And then you can always go back up. If you are on a block, go ahead and stay there. Remember, there's 3 settings for your block: low, medium, and high. And again, if you're not using a block, feel free to come down when you're ready. And then if you're on a block, you can absolutely stay there. You know, if we haven't used a block in bridge for a while, we forgot how much we love it. So if you're there and you're like, this is just so good, stay there. If you'd like to take an inversion, now's your chance to take shoulder stand, headstand, handstand, forearm balance. Great, Yasmin. Kathy, friend. Heidi, beautiful. Great, Meredith. Tatiana. Katrin and friends. Friend. Elena. Healing on a soul level. Just the idea of knowing that we perceive things to create our reality is very important. It's reminding yourself how you think about yourself, you project that into the world. Not enough, I don't have enough. Then that's what you attract. I am pure consciousness. I am love. Let's take one more minute here. If that seems unreasonable, come on down and rest. You are ready to get away in September. We're going to do our first retreat very close to here. We had planned it prior to 2020. It is a place where the wild ones grow. We'll let you know more about that in the next couple of weeks. Good. Begin to make your way down from whatever inversion that you're doing. Either child's pose for a moment if you came out of headstand, or maybe fish if you came out of shoulder stand. And then we're going to find ourselves coming back up to sit or staying seated if you're already seated. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Go nice and wide with your legs. If you have props, feel free to grab them to do a very restorative forward bend. Take your legs wide. You might want to sit up on a blanket. You might want to have a block in front of you to put your forearms on. So wide, wide legs, super wide. Upavista Konasana, nice and wide. Take the sit bones back and wide, and then lean forward any amount, or maybe you're just going to keep yourself upright and press your thighs to the floor and keep your chest lifted. That's fine too. And draw that navel in if you've released it, and come on up. Squeeze your legs together. Bend your right knee. Place your right knee over your left leg. So you're going to do twist. You're going to twist to the right. Make sure your back hand is propping you up, that you're not leaning into it, but you're being propped up by it. Make sure you flex that extended foot. There you go. Get tall, get tall, get tall. And then counter twist to the other way. Turn, 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 turn. Come on back to center, switch legs. And now you're going to twist to your left side. Mark, did you change legs? Did you put your, yeah, that's what it is. Okay, there you go. Cool. Get tall, pull up, pull up, pull up. And then counter twist to the other side. And come back to center, come to cross-legged. These are our final side body. Starts to twist to your right, left hand on your right knee. Take your right arm up and stretch it over to the left. Beautiful, and change sides, come on up and twist to the left. Your right hand on your left knee and your left arm up to the sky. There it is. And come on up. Could either stay here to meditate or lie down on your back for Shavasana, completely up to you. If you lie down, it's chilly out today, make sure you're warm. Begin to deepen your breath. Together, let's continue to manifest our dreams. The universe is 100% behind us, around us, within us. If you're lying down, go ahead and let your body stretch. Drawing your knees into your chest, rolling to the right side, coming up to sit. Draw your hands to your heart center. Deep breath in for Om. Sliding our hands to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste, everybody.
Namaste.
Thank you all so much. I hope you have a brilliant day. Go make it great.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sheryl.
Cheryl.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Thank you, Veronica.
Have a great weekend.